Piper with the Tuesday video, and it's Tuesday the 4th of July. Currently gold is being rather disappointing, as is GDX also. We have the equity markets endlessly making these expected highs, although the Dow did make a new high yesterday, as I was expected from the weekend video. Incidentally, the highs we're expecting here are pretty major. We're expecting, and it's not just my view, but a number of respected pundits, as it were, are forecasting a crash, or at least a decline, worse than anything experienced in their lifetimes. Now, the 87 crash actually was pretty severe, but it was very fast and was over quite quickly. The 2007-2009 experience was perhaps more damaging. So what we're expecting is worse than that. It's not unsurprising, really, because all that's happened is that the authorities have kicked the can down the road, and nothing's changed. They've just made it even worse than it was before. Anyway, today I want to talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a market that many people ignore. Now, I think this is a mistake. It doesn't really matter what your long-term view is. If you think Bitcoin is doomed and it's going to be a few years' time it'll be in the dustbin, that's one thing. But the actual movements the market is making in the interim are very tradable, and they are very substantial. I mean, you're seeing moves in Bitcoin that an equity market might take some years to do, sometimes in a few days or even a few weeks. And the actual patterns, and I find this often with markets which are relatively new, are much simpler. I mean, more sophisticated traders are doing very well in the markets which they've been trading for years and years and years, and that's understandable that they'll stick with those markets. But in Bitcoin, you see the same kind of movement happening far more quickly and with less sophistication. The moves follow sort of what you might call older styles of technical analysis before things got so complicated. Anyway, today in the weekend report, I mentioned that I thought we were seeing a triangle, and yesterday we saw the upper parent of the triangle penetrated. This is the way I like to work. I like to give you setups so that you don't need me to tell you when to go take a position. But of course I sent out an alert to my subscribers when I did take a position, in case I hadn't been following it, which they may not have been. So let me have a look at the situation on Bitcoin. Right, Bill's analysis puts the current action in context. He's saying that we're in a fourth wave. I'm saying it's a triangle, and fourth wave triangle fits in quite well. This actually would be the fourth wave of this rally here, wave 5 of the sequence that started from here. So, okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5 is what we're looking to complete here. So quite a substantial move expected. I mean, Bill's got a forecast here around 5,000 for this move. So, we've got possibly 2,000 plus points coming in here. So a substantial move before we see another correction. I think it's possible this might actually be a more important 5, but if we do get to 5,000, we'd expect to see a fairly massive fall, probably back to the lows we've just seen, in fact. But I want to stick to this particular pattern. So let's go down to to another chart. This is a 6-hour chart on Konichi. The IG charts aren't too useful. As IG skips Saturday and Friday evening, you actually do miss some key lows. And the key low, in fact, that came in here. So let me just get this right. The key low that came in there was actually missed by IG, so it makes quite a big difference to the chart. The peak came in here at 3,000. We then had an ABC ABC B, ABC D, E. Sorry, I got that wrong. It's A, B, C, D, E. So we have a complete triangle. What's more, we have mixed up the lows. It's pretty damn close. And if you join up the highs, similarly, you see the breakout that came in yesterday quite clearly. Not only did the breakout, we then saw the retest of the breakout, which is often a thing with triangles. What I mean by the thing behaving in a very simplistic fashion as regards technical analysis, it's doing everything you'd expect, whereas the more complex markets, like the equity indices, for example, which have been followed by so many people for so many years, with so many algorithms and so many computer programs, etc., playing on them, follow a far more complicated pattern, whereas a Bitcoin, currently it all seems quite straightforward. I'm not guaranteeing this trade is going to be a winner, by the way, but we are up about 100 points at the moment, so it's looking good. And the patterns look particularly good. You know, we now have this possible fifth wave coming in, with a target possibly at 5,000. I mean, it should take out 3,000, make a new high, obviously. That's a sort of given if we got it right. I mean, there's always a potential for a false breakout. I mean, the pattern could be that this is all a big A to there, and this is just a B wave coming in. But even that should be quite substantial. Anyway, we'll now switch to a shorter-term chart and have a look at the action since this E wave low. Right, the E wave low came in there. Now this looks like a third wave to me, the actual thrust above the triangle, and the triangle was sort of roughly like that. So we saw the retest coming in there. So we count that as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. It's probably, we're getting pretty close to a peak, maybe. I mean, if that was a 3, this is a 5 of 3. So we checked a 4 and a 5. So it's looking good. I've sent out alerts this morning. I've tightened the stop, so it's now below that level there. So you should be sort of not on a break even, but the actual risk on the trade has been heavily reduced. And I'm anticipating it going, I say, to above 3,000. With I wouldn't be at all surprised to see it above 5,000. I mean, the one thing Bitcoin hasn't done is disappoint on the. It's done more than you'd expect at all times. It also keeps tripling. So I'll just show you that as well. Take the low here around 1,000, so it tripled to 3,000 between March or April, perhaps early April, to June. What's that? So 3 months. So I think above 5,000 would not be a surprise here at all, but even 3,000 would be fine. So that's what I'm looking for on this trade. As I say, it's something that I think it's a bit of a trader's paradise at the moment. I mean, yes, not that many people are trading it, I don't think. Those that are relatively newcomers, and the moves are of substance, and the thing seems to behave in a way that sort of trading 101, which is ideal, I think, for many traders. The only issue is the platforms. I mean, IG is minimum of £5 a point, not huge in fact, but the 10-point spread is not great. FX choice, you have a tighter spread, 5 points, and you trade whatever you like, so in whatever size you like. So FX choice might be a better one to go for. I'll put a link in the email if you want to open an account with FX choice. It also has an app which works really well on my Android phone. Otherwise, you can trade, I believe, through the exchanges, Poloniex, or even Coenergy seems to just link exchanges, but the charts are the best I've come across. Anyway, I think I'll call it a day. Please get in touch if you have any queries on this. I mean, I'm very happy to have a chat on the phone if you'd like to discuss this, because I think it's quite an important thing going forward. I mean, some people view Bitcoin as a bubble, but who cares? You know, you're getting good trading in the meantime, then I don't see why that's a problem. Personally, I think that Bitcoin is not a bubble. It'll go through, as all markets have, and continue to do so, its up and down phases, bull and bear. It will see devastating declines, but the actual technology behind this is revolutionary, and I think will change the world. Like the internet has changed the world, I think Bitcoin is part of that process, I do not think that there's any chance at all that the blockchain, which is what underlines all this, is going to just disappear. Bitcoin could, but the blockchain will go on, I believe. Anyway, hope you found that interesting, useful. Back with a report on Thursday morning, where I'll cover the markets in more detail, probably in a written format. I know some of you prefer that. Have a great day. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.